Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Wednesday, the 26th of January 2022, and we're producing our regular morning update providing prices, news and economic data. Today we see gold and silver prices strengthen a little ahead of the FOMC statement due out in a few hours' time. So let's take a look. Welcome to Illuminati Silver. It's Wednesday, the 26th of January 2022 at 11:52 in the morning. The news headlines today is anticipatory. Yes, we're anticipating Russia moving into the Ukraine. We're anticipating a European and US response to personally sanction the leader of Russia, Vladimir Putin. And we're anticipating the FOMC announcement due out later today. Let's take a look at Russia, which is really dominating the headlines for the moment. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov signaled that Moscow will respond to any aggressive action by the US and its European allies as Germany and France pursue efforts to broker a peaceful resolution to the tensions over Ukraine. Top political advisors from Russia and Ukraine and their counterparts from Berlin and Paris are holding talks in the French capital on Wednesday. A group of top Italian business leaders went ahead with a virtual meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin, despite an appeal to scrap it from the government in Rome. Russia has denied it intends to invade Ukraine, despite massing thousands of troops, tanks and equipment near its neighbour's eastern border. The Kremlin has demanded concessions from NATO, including a guarantee the alliance won't add Ukraine as a member and a rollback of forces from former Soviet states. And President Joe Biden says Putin is at risk of personal sanctions over the Ukraine. President Joe Biden said he would consider personally sanctioning Vladimir Putin if he orders an invasion of Ukraine, escalating the US effort to deter the Russian leader from war. Yes, Biden said Tuesday in Washington in answer to a reporter's question about whether he could see Putin facing US sanctions. I would see that. The US rarely levels sanctions directly against heads of state, but Biden has threatened some of the most severe economic penalties the US and its allies can muster if Putin orders more than 100,000 troops massed outside Ukraine to cross the country's border. Moving swiftly to the BBC News, we can see that in the UK, Sainsbury's, one of our larger supermarket stores, asks shoppers to keep wearing masks, even when the compulsion to do so ends technically on Thursday. That's in England, not necessarily in the other parts of the United Kingdom. We can see that a little bit of cute news. Pet spending boom continues despite rising costs. But on the trade front, warning shipping delay problems set to continue. And chip supplies plunge amid global shortage, the United States says. Looking in America, unvaccinated US patient denied a heart transplant simply because he refused to be vaccinated. US could sanction Putin personally if Russia invades. And we have here daily US death toll from COVID now matches Delta. Let's look at the financials. US dollar index still above 96, holding quite well there, up 0.14 for the day so far. Energy prices still continuing to creep up. It won't be long before Brent crude is $90 a barrel. Many pundits talking about $100 in the not too distant future. Equity markets in the US yesterday, bit of throwing and towing, occasionally rising then falling, broadly down. 1% for the S&P, 2% for the Nasdaq, and just marginally in deficit for the Dow Jones. It's now giving us for the month a 13% fall in the Nasdaq, a 7 almost 8% fall in the S&P and a 4.5% fall in the Dow Jones. Asia Pacific overnight, the Nikkei and Topix indices down, Hang Seng up, but not of significant measure, and UK and European markets actually coming back quite strongly, either close to 2% or above 2%. Now, economic data yesterday, we saw the S&P Case-Shiller National Home Price Index year-over-year change for November actually weakened just slightly at 18.8% compared with 19% the previous year-over-year the month before. And the FHFA Home Price Index, again year-over-year, showing a marginally different picture, but really it's not of any consequence in truth, at 17.5 compared to 17.4. Interestingly, the Consumer Confidence Index, though, has increased for January compared to expectations, but lower than what they were in December. Now, today is the all-important FOMC statement, followed by Fed Chair Jerome Powell's news conference. We were going to put out a video on this in advance of the meeting, but we've already done that once, and quite frankly, the circumstances haven't particularly changed because we've not seen any additional economic data other than what we had previously in previous weeks that, in our opinion, is going to change the relatively hawkish position we're expecting the Fed to take. However, we will comment on the statement tomorrow in our morning roundup, and we'll probably give it some prominence. Looking at gold prices ahead now of today's statement, gold is actually up $6 and is standing at $1,845. Silver is also up 21 cents, but it did actually fall back really earlier today in the early hours and then has recovered. But it is still down on where it closed last Friday. It is below $24. Be interesting to see the direction it moves after the statement. If the statement's very hawkish, we're going to expect the silver price to fall. If it's very dovish, or even if it's as per expectations, it might blip up again above the $24 level. We have to listen for the language and try and estimate, if it's not made clear, what they are planning. Cryptocurrency markets are rebounding, actually doing quite well over the last couple of days. Bitcoin was at $33,500. It's now at $38,000, so it's gained a good sort of 15% in the last 3 days, but it's still down 10% over the last 7 days. And the market cap has gone up now from 1.5 trillion to 1.7. That's it for now. We're all waiting to hear what happens with the FOMC. It is going to be relevant in our view, and it is going to give traders either the confidence or lack of confidence moving forward. It's only a few hours to go. Thank you so much for listening. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, press the bell sign, and tune in tomorrow because we will give more attention to what the FOMC says and does today. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management, and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.